sat the farmland deep in play, felt like a grain on your sand. How neat the cart beat, laid so long. How sweet the forest with bird song. Felt like a tide left me here. How high the gulls fly o'er I lay. How sad the farmland deep in play. Felt like a grain on your sand. Roy Green, good night. It's to the tune of Irene Goodnight. Roy Green, good night. Roy Green, good night. Good night, Roy Green. Good night, Roy Green. I'll see you in my dreams. Footsteps in the spotlight. Footsteps in the sun. Forget what I don't see. Roy Green tonight. I'll take morphine and die. An instrumental on Donovan's first record. He put the Jabberwock to music, which like a Celtic tune. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borough groves, and the montmoraths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub bird, and shun the Fruminia snatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the maxim foe he sought. So rested he by the tom-tom tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in a fish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. One and through and through the vorpal blade. When snicker snack he left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back.
That is fantastic.
In my head it goes like, once there was this little man, and he got up every morning and he'd wander. He'd wander hither, he'd wander thither, he'd wander up and down, o'er the hills. He's always wandered o'er the hills because he fancied he was a bit of a poet. Through the hedgerows, round about, back home for lunch, out again, wander, wander, wander. He did this for every day of his life for 80 years. Boring old sod, wasn't he?
This is a sketch that I wrote about a dog. It's called Altona Dog, and it's a piece of comic pathos.
Yep.
And I wrote this for an actor called Bruce Kerr, who recorded on Radio National about maybe 30 years ago. Bits and pieces of it I remember, but it's anthropomorphic. It's a dog who talks like a heavy drinker in North Altona. And when I've lived out that way, I've sort of picked up on the speech patterns and the rhythms. And it goes a bit like this. He says, my master is in that bottle shop, getting himself wiped off, getting himself completely inebriated, leaving me helpless, tethered to the fire hydrant, just sitting in me pool of wheat, while he's in that bottle shop making a hog out of himself. Eventually he emerges, extremely inebriated, with 5 great big bags of alcohol and a Viscount in his mouth. And here I am, a poor Altona dog, tethered to the fire hydrant. Just before he emerges from the bottle shop, he's pretending he's making a joke. What joke? He's the joke. Putting his arm around the cash register, making it out it's the shoulder of a mate. What mate? He hasn't got any mates. Out he comes, the world's greatest loser. He untethers me from the fire hydrant, and we go for these long, boring walks together. You're looking at 4 hours. 4 hours together down a boring old lane. And then he does to me what I've anticipated for hours. And I expect him to do, because he's a hurt person. Extremely vulnerable. He kicks me. Then he takes me home to his place. He reaches up on top of the fridge and gets down a giant tin of muck, Pal jelly mince, tips it onto my dish, and I hop into it because I love my muck. And then he starts crying because he's so lonely. He gets into the single bed on the K-pop pillow and gives me a lurid whistle to join him in there. And I do that too, because he's a very hurt person. And I slide under his stinking feet.